everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are the Mighty Guru Yogurt. Oh yes, we are. Now then, I am just above Kirkby in Furness and I am staging an ambush. In about 10 minutes time, the Murgatroyd will come up around this corner with the granddaughter in the back of the car. They do not know that they are about to get ambushed, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Why am I doing this? Well, I've been out for a ride, having a lovely time, reacquainting myself with this wonderful motorcycle, which is now back on the road, as you will know if you saw yesterday's film. The wing mirrors turned up at about 1 o'clock today. They're now fitted. Nice to be able to see what's behind me again. So I'm just going to sit here patiently and wait for a blue Suzuki Celerio to go past. That will be the Murgatroyd. See you in a bit. Hello Scar, how are you? Jolly good. So you've just messaged me, yes? Yes. Well, which shop are you going to? Food shop. Okay. Very good. So you'll be home at 5:30. Hello? Hello? So where are you at this minute? In Aldi? I see. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Can you speak up a little bit? Well, I was waiting, actually. You completely ruined my plans. I was waiting to ambush you on the way home. Yeah, I know. You've completely destroyed my plans. Oh yes, there they go. There's the honk. And now we are in hot pursuit. Hot pursuit, so we are. How delightful. We've arranged to meet up at Tesco in Millom. So off we go. Well now, some new developments to appraise you of. This very day, the Murgatroyd and I decided, after some discussion and research, that we were going to upgrade to an Osmo Action 5, the Osmo Action 5 Pro to be precise, and we are going to be having mini mics. We're going to have 2 mini mics and the new camera delivered at some point tomorrow. And this, of course, is ahead of our trip to Scotland. Our trip to Scotland will be starting on Tuesday of next week, the 8th of April. And we are going to leave at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are going to be riding north for 110, 111 miles to a campsite called Oakfield Campsite, and we'll be staying there overnight. The following day we will be riding northwest out to the ferry terminal at a place called Troon, T-R-O-O-N, Troon, and we will be getting the ferry across the water to the Isle of Arran, and that essentially is where we are going to be based for the duration of our holiday. So very excited about that. The ferry crossing is £15.35, and that's with 2 motorcycles and 2 people, and that's also the return rate, by the way. So that's quite strikingly cheap, you know, when you consider going a similar distance over to Ireland is more like £100. Well, wing mirrors make all the difference here, as I'm sure you know. I certainly feel a lot more comfortable riding today than I did yesterday. You'll remember from yesterday's film, I was riding with no wing mirrors at all. We had a little problem with the left-hand one here. It turned out that the quality control checks clearly weren't done, because the bit where there's a hinge at the bottom of the wing mirror was really badly riveted and simply wouldn't move. We had to essentially break it apart and put a little nut and bolt in, but that's done now, and we have wing mirrors. Delightful. Now then, in more developments, I lent my GoPro Hero 9 to the Benjamin house, my eldest son, Benjamin, and he apparently has just texted, well, he's just texted me, he apparently has just begun to edit his first motorcycle film. Oh my me, we have some competition. Well, I'll put a link to his first video when it goes up in one of my films, and I hope that following the Slobo Lobo initiative, we're all going to give him some support and feedback, because that's what we do. The Murgatroyd, you might have noticed from the number of videos that we've done about riding together, is a little bit reticent about going fast on the motorcycle that she's riding. That doesn't happen in the car. She drives like a hooligan, and it's just taken me about 3 miles to even catch these people up. There's Scarlett waving in the back. Hello, Scarlett. Scarlett's having pizza for tea. Me and the Murgatroyd are having soup, which I've yet to make. I've been busy with other things. We'll have a honk. I am sorely tempted to be going to Scotland on Mr. Suzuki here, because I'm so excited about having him back on the road. But to use a metaphor beloved by people who have the preposterous notion that feelings happen in their hearts, your heart is just a muscle, kids. I'm not going to allow my heart, which says go on Mr. Suzuki, to rule my head. My head says that's really silly, because while I'm away, Brian, Margaret's son, who did all the welding and helped enormously with getting Mr. Suzuki back on the road, will be doing the paint job while we're away in Scotland. And that's not the only reason. The other reason is that the Murgatroyd is going to be riding her Benelli BN125, and it is going to be almost impossible for me to ride this motorcycle at no more than 50 miles an hour for the duration of the holiday. And so the sensible thing to do is, of course, to go on the Scottish holiday on the XBS 650, and that's what I'm going to do. And then when I get back, all of the panels on Mr. Suzuki here will have been resprayed and we'll have a motorcycle that looks almost new. I filled up the tank on the way out here this afternoon. I used to have a policy when Mr. Suzuki was running every day of filling up every fourth tank with Shell V-Power, and I do think that was a good policy. I could certainly hear the difference in the engine. And so today, particularly given that Mr. Suzuki has been standing for 6 months essentially with half a tank of petrol to completely fill up with the old Shell V-Power, and it really is running a damn sight better today than it was yesterday afternoon. Okay, the road here, this is the A595 by the way, in case you didn't know, does straighten out for a little bit just down here. That's where I'm going to be making an overtake, or maybe not. It's looking quite busy. It is of course chasing 5 o'clock now, so it's rush hour and there's quite a lot of traffic on the road. So you see that the Murgatroyd is doing 60 miles an hour in the car without even thinking about it. She does, to my mind, drive the car a little bit too fast. I'm sure she'll get to the point where she rides her motorcycle in exactly the same way. I think that 6 or 7 days of motorcycling, which is what we're looking at when we go on our holiday, is really going to develop her riding skills to the point where she has an abundance of confidence both in herself and in the machine. But we'll see how it goes. The Isle of Arran is not one of the Scottish islands that I have visited. In fact, there's only one that I've been to, which is the Isle of Skye, which is a absolutely incredible place. Really, really beautiful. The Isle of Arran, it would appear, is at least as spectacular. And there's all kinds of interesting things to be doing there and to be looking at. There is a huge colony of seals. There is a whiskey distillery. And there are, I think, about half a dozen campsites as well. Not many roads around the island. You can almost completely circumnavigate it by road, and there are a couple of roads that cut across the island from coast to coast. But it's going to be a fabulous place to explore, I am sure. And the weather is looking as though it's set fair for at least the next 10 days. So according to the forecast, certainly when we're riding up there on Monday and Tuesday, it will be wall-to-wall sunshine, and it looks as though that's going to continue for quite a lot of the time that we're away, which is delightful news. Here's my overtake. And here we are at Dudden Bridge. 7 miles from home. Well, more or less. So at this point I shall bid you farewell. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little film, and if you have, you might at this point, if you haven't done so already, consider liking and subscribing. That would be lovely. And then you might want to, if you've got some spare minutes, go off and watch a few more of my films. And a very warm welcome to my new subscribers over the last few days. Numbers are picking up all the time. I love it. Welcome to the channel. There is, as I always say, a whole lot more to come. See you in the next one.